There can only be one. Leaving behind John Wick, director Chad Stahelski set to take on Reboot of Highlander. My first real impression of the 1986 film Highlander came not through watching it. That pleasure would come sometime later, but through a 1991 episode of venerable film critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert's weekly movie review show, Siskel and Ebert at the Movies Siskel and Ebert at the Movies. During that particular episode, these two iconic gents began discussing the new film Highlander II, The Quickening, and what I specifically remember is the duo having a good laugh over the laborious undercard title for the flick. The Quickening. Of course, being a Sean Connery fan in good standing, I'd heard of the original film prior to '91, but its plot synopsis of a battle twixt cranky immortals set within the confines of modern-day Nice really didn't inspire me to check it out until many years later. And the professional snickering of two film critics who I held in the highest of esteem, Pauline Kael, who's that? Over that ridiculous subtitle of the sequel didn't hasten what little interest I had to watch the first film in the series. Of course, that was ultimately my loss, and that original film directed with such quirky flourish by Russell Mulcahy. What a great name. Went on to inspire no less than 5 more movies as well as a 6-season television show. Obviously, there were some discerning folks out there that had better taste than I ever would. With such a long-standing pedigree, the only surprise to most of us is that it took so long for Hollywood to fast-track a reimagining of the Highlander franchise. But that time has finally arrived, according to our Everything Old is New Again pals over at... After an 8-year trek to get the film made, John Wick auteur Chad Stahelski has officially been tapped to direct a reboot of the upcoming movie Highlander. Pitch-hitting for original leading man Christopher Lambert will be none other than Henry Cavill of recent Superman fame. The directing gig for Stahelski on the new Highlander flick comes as part of a new deal between him and Lionsgate, which will not only essentially allow him carte blanche on Highlander, but also on John Wick. That's right, Keanu fans. Just because Stahelski is amscraying to direct this remake of the '86 cult classic does not mean he's abandoning the hard-hitting world of John Wick. Don't you just love it when everything works out swell for everyone involved? In a press release announcing the new deal with Lionsgate, Stahelski said that I am pleased to be able to grow my relationship with Lionsgate in this new oversight role for the John Wick universe and its further expansion. John Wick is so close to my heart, and to be able to continue shepherding it will be a blast for me. I'm so happy to also be launching another franchise with Highlander, a world that is so rich with engaging stories to be told. Congrats on the new directing gig, Chad! Oh! Just keep the words The Quickening away from the new iteration of Highlander and we'll all be square.